and comic books, fun.
Ugh.
Alrighty, good afternoon, folks. Welcome to Smudcast number 375. Robin is by and people are mad. This is, in case you haven't figured it out, by Comics Drake. This came out just last week. And yeah, he's probably going to say stuff like, it's totally fine. This is normal. Blah, 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 blah. And everyone else who knows the character, at least somewhat, would be like, well, you know, if you want a character growth or change in a character's personality or likes or dislikes, that's called storytelling. You actually have to write a story where they go from A to B, which is pretty basic stuff. It could be hero's journey. It could be a slice of life. It could be anything, really, as long as we understand how our character gets from one idea to another. That's all you need. And you go, oh, I guess he's into males and females now, or whatever, because without this prior knowledge of him being into women, we just assume he's gay because he has lineage. We have stories of him being heterosexual, but now suddenly he's gay, or at least into guys as well. So we have to call him bi. And I'm sure they would love if he was gay. The people who are cheering for this, because apparently sexuality is a big deal. I don't know why. I really don't care what they do with Tim Drake. Tim Drake has been thrown around, killed, turned into the Joker, cuckolded. He's been the villain. He's been partially killed. He's been held in stasis by supposedly Dr. Manhattan and forgotten about. There's all kinds of weird relationships he's in. So they seem to be just playing around with Tim Drake a lot. But yeah, that's comic books. That's how it goes. Anyway, this video is about 8 minutes long and it has over 112,000 views. So, yeah, that's
from what I've seen of the comic. He's not written bisexual. He's just written gay.
No,
so you write a gay character.
He is one of those guys who everyone sort of likes Tim Drake because I think he's the third Robin. He's just sort of trained well. He's a nice guy. He's not crazy until they brainwash him, sort of crazy. But he is generally liked. So when this happens to them, they're like, oh. And the reason why he's liked is he gets along with a lot of people like Superboy and some villains. And he's just, compared to Damian Wayne or other Robins, he's sort of like, yeah, we like Tim Drake. Tim Drake is cool. So.
Yeah, and they always go for the characters that are generally liked. It's not about making their own characters.
Yeah,
it never was.
They're probably
easier to sell.
They're probably going to talk about how he's so friendly and so likable that he's clearly has like homoerotic undertones to his relationships.
Yeah, that's why they overinterpret that into everything.
Yeah, like
every male interaction has to be gay now.
Yeah, because
the way
it's a superhero.
Is done from the panels I saw, on the text I read, from the pages I saw.
Yeah,
that's just 110% gay. There is no bisexuality here.
No, really?
That's just claimed because he was in a relationship with a girl before, and that is just off screen destroyed and admitted that they broke up for no reason.
Oh well,
yeah, it makes no sense.
This is
just fan fiction. Gay fan fiction.
Depending on what timeline you're in, he goes to boarding school and the girl is Stephanie, and she gets jealous because she does not see him as much, so she breaks up with him. But in another story, they are going out. She's pregnant. They think it's her or his kid. And he ends up taking her to Lamaze classes and taking care of her. It ends up being her ex-boyfriend. Like they treat Tim with just whatever they want to do with him. And it's like, okay, I guess this time he's bi or this time he's gay. They just throw him around the room just because they can. And it's just getting...
Yeah, but I don't think it's that... Those sound like actual stories.
Yeah, but that's like...
This is not throwing him around the room. This is the classic fetish story. This is the classic yaoi story.
I would say the way it was handled this time, it feels like it just came out of nowhere, and that's what pisses me off.
Exactly, that's the problem. Yeah. There's no story behind the breakup. It's admitted for no reason. Breakup for no reason.
Yeah.
And then he's just gay. Acts gay that he didn't before.
Yeah, I know.
It's the way the panels are drawn, the characters are drawn.
Yeah,
and the way it's written. It's just yaoi fan fiction.
Yeah, you either have the character establish his feelings, saying I've always been heterosexual, and then you have to show a change of attitude. Even though I'm attracted to women, I'm also attracted to this guy, regardless of his gender, or something along the lines of general affection towards someone. The problem is he has that with his male friends who have saved his life and he's saved their life. So there's a natural camaraderie with these guys, but suddenly he just really loves the sexuality of that dude over there. Is okay. Like what? Why? How? I don't get it. So the problem is not.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, the problem is not that he is suddenly bi. It's that there's not enough build up and explanation for his feelings. That's all we want. Are these characters that make sense? So whether they turn into a gelatinous blob or have superpowers, we don't care. Just how do we get from A to B? That's it. So the topic doesn't really bother me.
Yeah.
It's how we get there. Anyway.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the claim that he's bi is only used because the claim that he's gay, which is the comic, would be too much at once. This is just the cautious claim. But in the end, they're just doing the same thing they did with Iceman.
Well, Iceman,
he's not just gay.
Iceman explained it, but just did such a shitty job where Jean Grey can just snap her fingers and rewrite someone's memories so that they like guys. It's just like, oh, Jesus, that's insane. Thanks.
Oh, Jean Grey made Iceman gay?
Yes, she just warped his mind to turn him
That's
gay.
evil.
I know. It's mind rape. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's just, wow.
Yeah,
you took his chance at the normal family from him.
Yeah, like the best example, at least for DC, is with Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. It's like, okay, at least it's developed. They have a close relationship. The problem is Poison Ivy was seeing like Kite Man or something, and that was fine. She was happy, but then she ends up liking her best friend sexually.
The alleged bisexuality between them was also propped up due to slash fiction by fans, and DC then decided to run with it.
There's other talk of Star-Lord being bi, which I don't even know where that came from.
Yeah, that's the next thing. They're trying to do this with every character. They're trying to erase heterosexuality.
Yeah. The weirdest one I just read was Jean Grey, Cyclops, and Wolverine are somehow now in this threesome polyamorous relationship thing. That is weird. Like I've whoa, where did this come from?
Yeah, that's the recent one.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on in the comic books industry, but just to have all these love triangles become menage a trois or whatever, it's just like, whoa. Okay, we're no longer talking about superheroes. We're talking about just horny weirdos. They're just doing things.
It's just about sex. It's not even about relationships. It's just about sex. If you think about it really hard, and essentially, it's the message that I'm getting from this is conversion therapy is okay if it makes you gay.
Oh my God, conversion therapy.
Well, that's that is what you told me about Iceman, how that came to be.
Well, that was literally Jean Grey just having the power of mind control. That's the idea. Okay.
Rewrite someone's mind to change sexuality, change sexual orientation.
Okay, anyway, this won't take too long, but depending on how crazy Drake is, we'll have to pause and rant for a bit. Here's Vladimir Dragunov. Hey, how's it going? Thank you. Free space is X character is X coded. Oh God, that's a different issue. Coding is the idea of something or the flavor of something. So it's not implied, but you think it's implied. Therefore, it's the truth. And you're like, oh.
Robin's costume has bright colors, so he must be gay.
Yeah, it's yellow. Only person who's homoerotic would wear yellow. Whatever, spats or whatever. It's like, what? Wolverine is clearly gay. He wears yellow. It's like, what? No.
Yeah, and I think the Japanese title for fangirls that ship characters to be gay all the time as Fujiyoshi. So I wasn't familiar with that until recently.
Okay.
Because I don't look into that crap.
Yeah, there's terms
I read good manga.
Yeah, there's a term for everything in Japanese comics. I just don't know them all because I don't read every genre. And you have to be told by the actual well-read people on the Discord what the hell those things are. So, anyway, 2 more donations and we'll get started. Here's Francis Board Coppola. I'm going to bet they're going to use a comic panel and wildly misinterpret it to say, see, he was always no. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And here's Tyler Preston. YouTuber Just Some Guy who himself is bisexual made a video covering this topic and called it bullshit. Also, Drake got a little scuffle with your boy Zach when Zach responded to this video.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, I've had a not much of a conversation, but I've had a response from Comic Drake when we talked about what was that? Gatekeeping. He says gatekeeping is bad, and I'm like, no, gatekeeping is great. Why would it be bad? And he replied with a GIF. So that's as far as it went. Anyway, one more. Vladimir Dragunov, thanks again. Someone needs to take a few for the team and bang a few of these comic writers. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. The story I've heard about this one is that she is an actual fan of the original or previous heterosexual relationship of Tim Drake. And it sounds like she was forced to write this.
I don't understand these.
Like
these writers
here's
want
your
to make
job, write the story, write Tim Drake with a gay relationship.
If these writers want to make gay characters in the DC universe and superheroes or whatever, great, cool, do it. Just use original characters. Just make your own. See how that works. That's
but SJWs won't ever do that because their goal is to control culture and destroy culture and replace it with their own.
And this is why we talk about lore masters or gatekeeping or having producers be in charge of their IP properly. However it's done. I don't care how. Just figure out why you're doing this to your IP. Why are you destroying or altering your brand? And you better have a darn good reason because comics aren't looking too good these years. So
it's not about making money, obviously.
Yeah.
After having read I Am Not Starfire, 180 pages.
I tried making a video of that.
Nothing.
Did I say that? I tried making a video. It was like for an hour and a half. I was only halfway done. And I went to watch the video and I was so disgusted and bored of how dumb this story was. I just deleted the video. I was like, I can't do this. This is crap.
For 90 pages, nothing happens. Nothing.
Yeah.
It's just her moping and overeating on junk food.
I didn't understand.
Like a proper borderline girl.
The first half of that. Well, actually, no, the first 80, probably 70, 80% of it was just a day in the life, and she thinks this, and she likes this girl, and stuff happens, and you're like, why am I reading this? There's no reason. And then just right near the end, she gets powers, and you're like, oh, that defeats the whole story. She is now Starfire, just her little girl, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just ugly.
And it's so forced. Now I'm going to kill you and your mom because I'm stronger. I was like, what? You're her sister. Why? Because I'm a queen and you still have right to the throne. It's like, why would she doesn't even know that. Like, why would she want that? She's not one of you. Anyway, dumb stuff. Anyway.
It was really horrible. And the art quality went downhill. As the comic went on,
the best I could say,
the artist didn't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, the best I could say
was okay.
Was the color? The coloring was good. I liked reading about the coloring because at least it was colorful to look at. The artwork with the face and the eyebrows and I don't know. They zoomed in on her face so many times and it's not an attractive face. I don't know why.
It got more sloppy as the comic went on.
The reds and rouges, just like, why is her house red? The whole house is, this is gross. Very weird looking house. Anyway, Gingaman gave me a donation. Gingaman, you could have popped on, buddy, but thank you for the $5. Who's willing to bet Drake is going to bring up Frederick Wertmann's Seduction of the Innocent? Because that's the last thing you should take seriously in relation to comic books.
Oh dear.
I don't think he's well read in comics. I don't think he's well read in Frederick Wertmann's Wertham's.
And the reason I brought up I Am Not Starfire is because that's not a 20-page comic. That's a 180-page book. That's expensive. And DC hoped that this would revive their brand somehow. Western comics are like they're deliberately killing themselves.
Yeah.
In its confusion, they're hurting themselves. The confused Pokemon.
One more for Vladimir Dragunov, thank you. For future reference, should unnecessary Trump reference be a free space or an instant win spot? I think we had it as not a free space. We think it was definitely in the near the middle, though. Definitely in the...
Or like one of those VPN services.
Oh, yeah. Trump or VPN.
I haven't seen anything of this video, but I'm willing to bet that he's going to hold like a mug again because he just doesn't know what to do with his hands.
Yeah, I haven't.
He's hiding behind his empty mug. That's.
I haven't seen any Raid Shadow Legends lately, so maybe it's focusing now on.
Yeah, Israel needs some money. Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, that's right. Anyway, let's get started. It won't take too long, I hope. 8.5 minutes. Here we go.
Outside of the original, Dick Grayson, I would argue that Tim Drake is the most famous character to take on the Robin mantle. He also came out as bisexual recently, and people reacted about...
Yeah, this is right here it starts. Came out is bullshit, and if you just look at how the eyes are drawn here, this is how yaoi fangirls draw their characters. They feminize the looks of the faces.
Yeah.
Where the guys just
look 13?
look more childish, look more feminine. Yeah, but they're not children; they're teens. But they I don't know the term for this. They make them look more effeminate because while they are into gay romance, they also want the guys to look more like girls at the same time. I don't know the psychological process behind that, but this is how you can spot that it's a gay comic.
Yeah,
it's not bisexual. If it was bisexual, Tim Drake would still look more like a guy.
I think even
regarding to his eyes,
even in the sub-romance manga I read, the guys look like adults, and they look gorgeous. Yeah. Looks like a 14-year-old boy here. Very odd.
Well, we can talk about that direction, but generally, you could if you strip out the color. It wouldn't look that different from a manga, the way it's drawn.
Yeah.
So the Fujiyoshi style is getting in.
Yeah,
this is just gay. It's not bisexual.
Yeah, it's almost anime-fied. The eyes aren't too big, but you get that sort of glimmer in the eye. So it's like almost. It's
the inspiration is definitely there.
Yeah. When I used to study comic art and with my friend, because he was doing comic book art and I was doing it with him, we compared it to the manga style at the time. Manga was like huge. The eyes were gigantic. Like Sailor Moon was huge. There were all these little details. Comic book, a line far away, just one line, second line, ridge for the nose, shadow for the bottom of the nose, and that was it. You're like, oh yeah, it's fine. It's face. It's good. But manga, boom, huge eyes. Anyway.
Yeah, well, not all the guys don't immediately have as big eyes as the girls, but
that's true.
You do have the effeminate features around the guys' eyes in these things.
Mm-hmm. And I still don't understand this bubble without the text. It must be a copyright issue he's dealing with because I don't understand it at all. But whatever, let's just keep going.
Mm-hmm. And Ken Kaneki in the chat said, yaoification.
Is that the term?
That may be a good term.
Okay, we'll go with that.
The way you did. Obviously, if you've been on my channel before, then you know that I am two things. One, pro-diversity, and two, a comic book expert.
Yeah, right. Okay.
What did he say with pro-diversity?
He is pro-diversity and a comic book expert.
So
also, you mean you're pro-changing character sexuality because it suits your political agenda?
Yeah, so when people say they're pro-diversity, they're like, hey, if someone changes their this or that, they're okay with it by virtue of it being a change. Whereas the rest of us are like, does it follow the lore? Is it told properly in the story? If so, it's fine. We don't care. Do whatever you like. Now, being a comic book expert, you don't like. I don't come into my channel and say, "Hey guys, I'm a Mass Effect BioWare expert." No, I'm not. That's stupid. There's so much I don't know about lore and characters and BioWare. Like I would never say that. It's retarded. But this man is a comic book expert. Anything comic books, you just go to him. He'll have the right answer. So, bravo, sir.
So even though I'm surprisingly straight, despite all of this, and I don't really have a dog in this race.
So you suck at fashion and you're not gay? I don't. That seems
it's
totally
hard
normal.
to believe.
Yeah, the gay guy would be, I'm really beautiful. It's like, no.
It's hard to believe that he's heterosexual.
Oh my God.
Let's talk. The reason why I honestly don't care all that much about this reveal is because I have read a whole bunch
Why'd you make a video?
Yeah, then why are you pro the sexuality changing characters?
I don't care that much. Here, let's make a video about how much I don't care. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I'm showing you. I'm totally for this, but I don't care. Like,
Sounds more like he's just riding the popularity for it.
Exactly. I don't have a dog in this race, but let's make some money. Okay.
I don't care, but I totally like it.
Yeah.
comics. And guys, the dude has had big bisexual energy for years, and this quote-unquote change contradicts literally nothing about the character. Seriously, show me one panel where Tim calls himself straight. Just
you don't.
That's not how it works.
That's retarded. If he's with a girl in a relationship, he is automatically straight. If he was with multiple girls over the years, there are many instances of him being heterosexual.
And you see, Smart, he was only pretending to have a relationship with a girl to like have like a good image for Batman, so he can still work for him. That's all of it. He had to be a closet bisexual.
Your Honor, I never said I was the murderer. I was just holding the bloody knife at the crime scene.
You know, and straight people don't have to say that they're straight. And that's something that the left criticizes, that, oh, that is straight privilege, that you don't have to say it, but everybody just assumes that you're straight.
Because we're
and now you're saying that because he didn't say he's straight, that means he can be anything.
Yeah, it's kind of assumed the majority of people, without knowing anything about their personal lives, are heterosexual. You don't need that told to everyone. It's like, do you breathe oxygen? It's like, I guess so, yes. Oh, now I know. Thank you for telling me that. Or else if you didn't say that, like nitrogen or something, I'd be totally confused as to whether you're human or not. Like, okay.
You eat food?
What?
You might identify as a 9,000-year-old Kitsune Griffin swings.
I didn't quite catch that. Sorry. What was that?
I won't repeat that.
What did you say, Griffin? What? Griffin?
Griffin Kitsune swings. Like a nine-tailed fox and the swings and the Griffin in one, and that's what you identify as.
If you believe it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You're not allowed to question it. That would be furry-phobic or something.
Oh, forget it. Never mind. Let's not talk about that. Here's the Mechanist. Thanks for the $1.11. Yesterday's vid was great. No, it wasn't. It was a horror show. Not the BS that called a shrieking shrew a wise woman. Yeah. But the first 20 minutes was writing gold. No, that's what we hated. What are you talking about? Also, F diversity, Team Welsh all the way. Woo Welsh power. The Welsh gag is gonna be great. Mwahaha.
I think he refers to like the first 20 minutes before we start covering the video.
It was so bad. I just don't want to remember any of it anymore.
Yeah.
Everything about that video, Anyway, Comic Drake has no dogs in this race, apparently.
One. But okay, let's address the elephant in the room. Tim Drake has had a handful of love interests over the years, most notably Stephanie Brown and Wonder
Girl.
Oh.
Let's make something explicitly clear, though.
Totally, guys.
No amount of dating women invalidates someone's attraction to men. To my knowledge...
Are you sure about that?
You're really stretching it here, man.
It's kind of like trying to...
And it's the most beautiful women imaginable.
Yeah.
It's trying to do like the same shit that like people are trying to accuse Tolkien of. That like he was secretly like a gay person and he was writing about gay stuff. Even though like he was a devout Christian. And like he followed like the religion so hard. And then like people think that he wrote like... had like gay allegories, really.
Yeah, when it was
like,
just World War camaraderie.
So when you're in a relationship with a woman and then another woman and another woman and then another woman, or off and on with the same woman, chances
totally
are...
means you must still be bisexual.
Yeah, apparently.
You're just repressing your homosexuality.
You really just want not women, but you keep going after the women, so I don't know.
I mean, the sad truth is there are gay men who do marry women and then get 3 children, and then when they're 50, they come out as gay, which leaves a devastated woman that realizes this man never loved her, never found her attractive. And there was such a case, I think last year or the year before, where it was some TV host in the US, and everybody then had to celebrate him and his braveness and everything. Nobody talked about the completely destroyed wife that he left behind, who then, of course, divorced him.
Yeah, that'd be pretty destructive to a woman's ego when you find out the man you've been with all this time didn't find you sexually attractive or something like that. It's like, that's...
I think it's even worse because it's not just your ego, it's your whole being, the core of your being. Because this man did not just not find you attractive, he didn't love you, and he only used you in order to appear like he had a normal life and to make children with you. And these children now also realize, this man never loved my mother. I am not a product of love. My mother may have loved him, but he didn't love her. He only played a game, either for himself or for some other reasons. And that's quite horrible.
Anyway, until
we're not allowed to look at the woman, because there suddenly the woman doesn't matter anymore, and because if she complained, she would now be homophobic.
Oh God! Well, until Tim Drake turns 50, we have a lot of time for him to go off on his escapades of character development and climaxes to come to some mental realization. Hey, I like guys. I got to tell the audience that specifically, or else it's unclear to everyone. It's like, okay, thanks.
There's no queer council that spies on people's lives and passes judgment on everyone's sexual identity, or at least I haven't been informed about.
See, this is the problem I have. He's seeing this as a sexual identity problem, as opposed to no, he's just suddenly into guys for no reason, and that's fine. Like, have you spoken to bisexual people? Really?
People don't just change their sexual orientation.
They don't just go downtown and flip a coin, say, today, heads, I want to get some tail, or tails, I want to get some head. Like, this does not happen. It's not some random thing. When men are attracted to men, there's a very specific reason, and it's usually not sexual. There's something about them. They look up to them.
And the bisexuals I know, they're usually leaning towards one sex they prefer. That is a true thing. That is an argument you could make towards Tim Drake, but these people aren't, because they don't actually know anything about these things, or they have a reason to brush it under the rug, because that would be some sort of, oh, you discriminate based on sexual markers between the sexes that are totally the same, by the way. The ideology is insane, simply. They have reasons to not mention certain things. But yeah, just in short, the bisexuals I know, they usually lean hard towards one sex, either the heterosexual or the homosexual.
Okay.
The thing, though, is that fans have speculated for years about him being bi due to his intense friendship with Connor Kent, aka Superboy. I will say it is perfectly fine and normal for men to have important and completely platonic friendships with other men. There's nothing gay about bros supporting bros. But Tim and Connor? Yeah, this isn't that. While the Robin and Superboy bromance has been strong for years, it's worth noting that Connor is pretty much the only person that Tim is really comfortable talking about his feelings with. And they have had some...
So far, that's not any reason. True friends can talk about that. And I really would like to have Bears on for this, but he's still at work. Because he's probably read this and I haven't.
Pretty sus exchanges.
We came here because we're friends, right? You gotta give me a reason to stick around, Robin.
Friends. You're smarter than you look.
I know. Wish I could do the same. Still refuse to call him by your name. I don't care what costume you or him wears. As far as I'm concerned, you're my Robin, always will be.
And you'll always be my clone boy.
Why so happy? Let me guess. Sale on leather? You're gonna get matching chaps. Is that it? Tim? Hello? Okay, now you're creeping me out. Will you say something? Tim, buddy, if you're trying to be all dark and grim now, this isn't going to help.
Additionally, there's this...
None of that was gay. You don't know how male friendships work, you asshole.
Oh, but it could be gay.
Obsessing asshole. That's just a normal romance, if you will. A normal male friendship.
Friendship does not exist. It's just foreplay for sexual.
It's all sexual. Every single scene is sexual tension. Everything.
Yeah. I understand when you're obsessed, when you want to see that, you can see that in that, but that's not what that is. Exactly.
Yeah.
Scene where Tim has a conversation with Connor inside of a closet while Superboy gets dressed.
Inside the closet. Oh, it's he came out from the closet.
Symbolic. Oh, they're in a closet. Oh, it's so meaningful. Okay.
You know what we call that? A changing room.
Yeah. It's like they're in the gym. Where is that? From the pool or the weight room? It's change room.
The locker room.
The locker room. It's like, oh, it's the closet. It's like, okay.
But you're locked in the locker room.
They're taking their clothes off. They're showering together. Oh.
Everything's totally a metaphor. Did you know that the number 23 is everywhere?
Oh my god. Clearly, he's gay. Oh, Jesus.
And just look around you.
Well,
sorry.
His green screen is kind of, yeah.
Judd Whitnick quickly joked about the scene being an opportunity for them to come out of the closet. Even Harley Quinn insinuates Tim's bisexuality, with him getting a very concerned look on his face. Most notably, though...
Yeah, why do you think he's very concerned when she's implying this weird shit? He'd be like, yes, that's exactly, thank you. This is exactly how I feel, Harley Quinn, thank you. No, he's like, ugh.
So, Harley messes with your mind. She's a psychologist. Was that Harley?
She was dressed up as a Batgirl.
I was.
This is,
yeah, that was what confused me. I was distracted.
This is, I think, from Infinite Crisis, if memory serves. Because Golden Age Superman is there, and that was one of the only major thing that he came back for.
All right.
What I meant to say was Harley Quinn likes to mess with people's minds. She's she is very versed in psychology. She's very intelligent. And thanks for making my best friendship awkward. That's what you think in that moment. It's a way to put a wedge between you and your best friend, because suddenly, this might be awkward now.
Yeah, it's very possible that Tim Drake's very emotive, and he loves his friends because they saved his life, and he did the same in turn, and he feels closely connected to them. That's totally fine.
Yeah, and someone from chat said something very cool. Cypher Wolf said, I hate shipping in general. It undermines the value of platonic relationships, which will be the most common and often more important than romantic ones.
Also, right after that, someone saying that probably is Batgirl.
All right. Here is the Mechanist again. Thanks for $11. I was referring to how you all talked about fantasy for 20 minutes before the shit hit the fan. Oh, yeah. Well, we do that mostly in our streams nowadays. We just don't shut up for the first 20 minutes. What's worse about this is that the media calls him Robin, muddying the waters so that people could confuse any Robin for being gay. Oh, they don't even use that his red costume anymore. Well, there were some vibes back with the show, the original TV show, how I wouldn't say homoerotic, but just erotic in general, because it was a bunch of guys and girls in spandex running around, punching each other and doing backflips. So, yeah, it's fine. It's implied. And then that book came out that the Robin actor wrote about all the actual sex that was going on behind the scenes. But
oh, really?
Yeah, nothing about homoerotic or homosexual sex, just all kinds of hanky-panky. But
spiciness.
I don't know. You're running around in spandex. People get excited for some reason. Anyway, that was the live show.
I'm not sure anyone's had that reaction to Power Rangers or Super Sentai. At least, like a lot of main fandoms, though.
I would argue there's probably plenty of fan fiction out there.
Yeah, but it's like way back there. It's like it's not all of them. It's not everyone.
I don't think the fans take that serious. They go, okay, thanks, but we don't want to talk about that.
Exactly.
I think they have dedicated forums. Like even in the forum, it's like a Sentai forum, there's probably a dedicated adult section of that forum you can go to.
No, you're definitely right. I'm not denying that it doesn't exist. I'm just saying it's like in those cases, it's like it's taken less seriously because we're here for the spandex wearing superheroes with explosions behind them.
Yeah, that's why you're there. And the giant robots, the transforming ones, those are cool too.
That too. But let's move on.
When Tim's entire world is shattered. He donned this new red and black costume, which is widely accepted as being in honor of Superboy's color scheme, and he obsessively tried to bring Connor back to life through cloning. At this point, Tim had also lost his father and Stephanie, but it's Connor that Tim was so desperate to bring back, even though...
Okay, so if you guys don't know, Superboy was a clone originally, so he was just trying to bring him back because that's what he was designed to be, a clone. I think it was done by Lex.
It would be creepy if he tried cloning with any other character.
Yeah, pretty much. So he's not like some super genius like Lex who can just clone anyone he wants. This was specific to only Connor. So he thought, hey, I could do this too. And he couldn't. That's it.
Also the double whammy that he mixed his own DNA with Clark's just for the double entendre against Superman.
That's right, yeah.
And if you had a chance to bring your best friend back, would you?
In almost all cases, anyone would take that.
Yeah,
take
so
the risk.
The way he was created,
the relationship is just that close.
The way he was created in the first place, he tries to recreate him.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Mm-hmm.
He's not like obsessing over, I just can't wait to have a homoerotic relationship with this new Connor. It's like, no.
Yeah, and that one likely wouldn't have the same memories anyway,
exactly, yeah.
But he'd have the same personality.
Yeah, I think the story with Connor has always been a mixed bag of who he is. Does Superman accept him as a brother, a father figure, whatever? He's always had tough problems with being accepted, not only as a member of the Titans, but as a member of humanity.
Just the and the superhero community in general. Yeah. On top of that,
he's not as strong as Superman. He doesn't have all his powers yet. He's still growing. So.
All this tells me that SJWs don't understand what friendship is.
Yeah. There's that whole element of, gee, I wish I could get my friend back, and here's a way to do it.
It honestly just hurts listening to this asshole.
Human DNA is significantly easier to clone, and the main reason that his experiments kept failing over and over and over again was because the Kryptonian DNA was rejecting the human samples. There's also this really dramatic scene of when Superboy leaves the Teen Titans that doesn't read it straight to me. And when Connor was
because you're an obsessed idiot who's probably a repressed gay. You're probably not as heterosexual as you think, because you have a serious case of the gay face.
Here's this scene which I interpret as being a man who's gay. It has nothing to do with sexuality. It's like, okay, thanks.
Oh, emotions. They must be gay.
Here's a man smoking a pipe. He's clearly interested in men. Like, what?
Men should be more open with their feelings. Oh, when you show feelings, you must be gay. I hate you people.
Here's a man buying shoes. Clearly, he's interested in having sex with men.
He's a man showing his emotional pain and fear of losing his friend. Must be gay. He must want to stick his dick into his ass.
I don't. It's just so silly. Here's a man opening a door for other men. He clearly wants to be in a relationship with men. What?
He clearly wants to bang.
Yeah, honestly, that's the big difference. Because if you think it through to the end, it's then not about... a friendship is a form of platonic love, a real friendship. That's a philia. But what these people think about is, when it's sexuality, it's about having sexual intercourse.
Wow.
You don't need that to care about someone.
These people equate all of this to just putting the hot dog in the donut.
Yeah.
If you catch my drift.
Yeah. You don't need to want to do anal to care about someone.
Yes.
Which is probably why we should keep the children far away from you types.
We should, yes.
All right.
From Continuity Altogether, Tim said that his name, quote, tugs on his heart. Also, are we going to forget the time that Tim sought out fashion advice from the only openly gay member of the Teen Titans?
Yeah, would it be much more interesting if he wanted to bring back his dead girlfriend or the Superman clone? What would be more interesting to you? I don't know. I think I'd like the Superman clone, but it's just me.
Or maybe if it had to come to it, Bruce, the man who raised him.
That would be cool.
Oh! Someone in chat said something very smart. He's reading the comic through a homonormative lens, and I think that nails it.
Oh God!
I think that nails it.
Yeah, that nails it right on the fucking head, right there.
We talk about lenses a lot, and you could use a certain lens for a certain reason. This is not the right time to use that lens.
Yeah, but these people are obsessed with seeing everything through lenses, seeing everything distorted. So, and they complain about the heteronormative lens that normal people use, allegedly. He and all these shippers and all these gay obsessed fetishists, they use a homonormative lens where everything is homosexual by default, and they're looking for all the they filter through all the tiniest pieces of evidence to justify that. They ignore everything else. They ignore 99% of what's there. They go for the 0.1% of things that support their positions. Just like conspiracy theorists with big tinfoil hats on that see reptile aliens everywhere.
All right.
The two of them then stumbled upon a pride parade, and then it was Tim that was the one that suggested they take part in it. His teammates also claimed that Tim made friends with everyone at the parade and was invited to all of the after parties.
Oh, he went to a parade, therefore he's gay. That's great, thanks.
You can't even keep it as simple as he's just that much of a pride ally. No, he has to be one of them.
Last time I walked in a Caravana, I was clearly wanting to be black and make all kinds of Jamaican food after that and hang out with all the semi-naked ladies who wanted to hang out with me. I was like, no, I'm gay.
Do you know, and good-looking men are hit on by homosexual men. That happens quite a lot.
This is a pretty tame...
It's quite unnerving when they don't fucking stop.
This is a pretty tame gay parade. I don't know if you guys have been to any gay pride parades. They're pretty crazy. So
yeah, it's horrible. Most people are drunk and rubbing against each other. It's not fun.
Not pretty, yeah.
Especially now.
And this frame is quite. I find this frame quite interesting because he has a triumphant grin on his face, as if I won the argument. Like, if you don't care, why do you feel triumphant?
Well, he's a comic
You're just
expert.
a liar.
He's an expert. He knows all the comics.
He's just a liar. He's been just skimming through stuff in order to find evidence. And I wonder whether this part is in the comic just as political virtue signaling in the first place.
I do recall when we first had gay pride parades, and that was like a worldwide thing. It started coming out. I thought, that's a great thing. A bunch of people coming out, expressing themselves, being nice, just walking out into the streets publicly. Like, that's cool. It's not a big deal, but it's nice to see. And then you realize what they became, which is this gross, disgusting, nudist perversion. You're like, oh, that's not cool.
Yeah, and went from parades to riots.
Yeah, and
that's part of it.
Because initially it was just to show, look, we're just normal people like you.
It was nice.
And and now it's just, hey, let's sexualize the children.
It became something you would not take kids to, and it was kind of.
Nor should you.
And brain damaged parents who think, oh, I must be good. This is how you are a good person. Do bring their 3-year-olds and 5-year-olds to these places where they're then, in quotation marks, kissed by gay men on the mouth.
All right,
we have that on camera, and I'm sorry, I don't think that was the intention, because this is initially, because this is the exact stuff that the conservative Christians warned against this would become. So thanks for proving our adversaries right.
All right, here's Tyler Preston. Thank you again. So straight can't express their emotions, be upset over the death of their best friends, and get fashion advice without being called a homo. We are going so far backwards as a society. This is just Comic Drake projecting really hard, I think. It's
the same complaint that I said in similar fashion before.
For all we know, he's one of them.
These people do the same things that the homophobes do, where, this is a scene that looks somewhat gay. This character must be gay, or this person must be gay. Let's stay away from him. And these people see the exact same things and say, yes, that is gay. It's awesome. They jump onto the exact same things and interpret this must be gay.
There are many effeminate men or sensitive men who are into fashion and aren't gay. So I know them personally. They do my tailoring. They're brilliant, and they're happily married. So,
by these people's logic, all cosplayers must be gay.
Anyone into clothing is gay. Anyone who's well dressed is gay. Blah blah blah. You're like, okay.
Mm-hmm. But because that's girl work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And cooks, all chefs must be gay.
Yeah,
all 5-star chefs must be gay.
That's a silly
because
thing
cooking is for women.
I don't understand that at all. When you're a chef, you're a chef. It doesn't matter what your gender is at that point. You've worked really hard to get there.
Yeah, and serving
the gayest man ever.
Yeah, and running a star kitchen is. There are lots of chefs already at the brother of a friend of mine is a 2-star chef, and he stopped working as a chef at around 40 because he saw all of his kitchen chef friends have heart attacks after 40 because it's such a tough job.
Yeah.
Okay, so if chefs are gay, that means Gordon Ramsay is the most gay motherfucker on the planet.
Yeah, because he has the most Michelin stars almost. So he is in the top gayest chefs, indeed.
By the logic of these yahoos, yes.
All right.
And come on, look at this guy. If you show this frame to anyone in a gay bar and ask, does this guy have gay face? I bet you everyone will say, oh yes, give me his number.
Yeah.
Well, I'm already terrified by his shirt. I just realized they matched.
T-shirt?
Yeah, the shirt and the other shirt match. I was like, oh my god.
It's like, oh no.
Fashion sense. He must be gay.
Oh yeah, horrible fashion sense and good fashion sense. Yeah, both. They're both gay. Yeah.
It's like poetry. It rhymes.
The other end of the spectrum.
It's also not a 2-star contrast with his background. He really knows his colors. It's totally
God.
Man,
blue is gay. Blue is the color of gay now.
Dude, Comic Drake, when are you coming out of the closet? The signs are all there. It's just like Tim Drake.
You know, like jokes.
It's left us to shave the beard.
The jokes aside, is like he's actually wearing bisexual colors. So
yes,
he's got the hair and everything.
Yes, you're bisexual coded, man.
All he has left to do is shave the beard, and he can fake it.
But even then, it's probably the bisexuality would probably still just be coping on his way to discover that he's just full blown into the guys.
Or maybe he's just like this because of the trauma he got from working with MathPad.
Yeah, and
or maybe he's just stupid.
And the thing is, us doing this to him now is totally okay, because guys like him have established that overinterpreting absolutely every detail about someone to justify that person is gay
is perfectly okay.
Yes, they normalized it, which is something that in the past was shunned because that would be prejudiced. But prejudicing is okay because we just call that coding now. Stereotyping is it's gone. It's all just coding now. And you are gay coded, man.
I just realized that what if Tim Drake is just like doing this as an act to like extract the information from like a villain or something.
Oh yeah, he goes undercover all the time. Yeah. It's so
like this is the extent he's willing to go.
Yeah.
Like if he needs to suck someone's dick to save Batman, he's gonna do it. That's how loyal he is.
Okay, let's keep going.
The only real thing that I could find that implies that Tim isn't interested in men would be this issue of Batman where he goes undercover as a female med student and...
Oh. So your logic in order to prove that someone's not gay is that you need real proof. You need to prove that you're not into dicks. It's not, there's no assumption of innocence anymore.
Yeah, you can't prove a negative.
Actively prove to not be gay. This is imagine the conservatives doing this. Demanding proof that you're not gay or you get the guillotine.
So this is a common problem in arguments. You can't prove a negative. So if you're not something, you must be the opposite, or you must be some other flavor, and that proves or some other bizarre logic that you are.
That logic is dumb, though.
Yeah. But he needs Tim Drake to tell us he's into girls, even though we know he's into girls because he's been
not just that he's into girls, but he's at the same time not into guys. And it just reminds me of something, just a small tidbit. When we covered Red and the Oscar Wilde thing came up, someone corrected in the comments that the guy Oscar Wilde was wooing was not 15 but 21 at the time.
Okay.
Which makes it okay, but still odd because Oscar Wilde was still more than double his age. However, Red omitted something very important that I'm very surprised that she did omit that, because she is good at reading apparently, so otherwise she wouldn't make that channel. Because it's even on the Wikipedia page, the story of why the father of the guy was hiring private investigators in order to prove that Oscar Wilde was gay, was sodomizing his son, to be honest. And that was not because he was determined to prove Oscar Wilde was gay. No. That man, forgot his name, some English cherry something, lord of something. My bad. He was pissed that Oscar Wilde was digging his son, understandably, because you might want your son to have a girl and a family and stuff, and then this guy comes along and, well, that wouldn't work out. So he left an insulting note to Oscar Wilde, accusing him of sodomy, which technically he was doing. Anal sex was considered part of sodomy. Of course, that is a grave accusation. Oscar Wilde needed to defend himself against that, although it was true, of course, which then meant that Lord was slandering Oscar Wilde. So he was sentenced. I think he was incarcerated even. So he would, in order to prove his innocence, that he was in fact not slandering Oscar Wilde by calling him a sodomist, he needed private investigators that proved that Oscar Wilde was indeed gay. Not for any other reason. So you can't say he brought himself into that situation, yes, but he did not hire the investigators out of malice. He already knew that Wilde was gay. He needed to prove that he was gay in order to prove his own innocence. Why Red left that out is beyond my comprehension.
Okay, back to the video.
Yeah.
Pretty embarrassed he was hit on by a guy, but there's multiple plausible excuses. Tim could be embarrassed because he's cross-dressing. The guy might not be his type. Or maybe he's just in the closet. My friend Faust...
Or maybe he doesn't like him.
actually explained really well in one of his videos.
When I say I would like for this character to come out as gay or bisexual or
because you're gay
or whatever, I'm not saying that I want their sexuality to change. I'm saying that I believe, based on what I've already read of the character, that they are gay, bisexual, pansexual, or whatever, and have been all along. And they're
so they've been this way since birth, but they're figuring out right now. They've taken all this time to figure out they love dick.
Yeah, and this is an obviously gay man, and he is projecting all of this into this. He wants it all to be there. He's essentially admitting that. He's looking for all the clues.
It can't be that complicated a revelation. When I'm attracted to this. I actually want that. I want to pursue that. Yada yada yada. Off you go. No, it's got to be this. I'm 23 and now I'm feeling like this for some reason. It's like, okay, I mean, you could do that, but have a darn good story for me to believe you. If I already know your sexual history.
And honestly, it really isn't that hard to figure out your sexual orientation. The question is only how much in denial are you of whatever it is that you don't want it to be, which is usually everything that's not heterosexual.
Right. And women can get attracted or turned on for any number of reasons, which has nothing to do with realizing why. You can just get aroused for the wind being cool or waking up or any other instance in the world where your brain is not functioning properly.
And arousal is not sexual arousal.
No, but sometimes sexual arousal can occur and you don't know why. That could be hormonal.
Maybe you got inspired by a nice idea and think, oh.
It could be loads of reasons. The subconscious is a wonderful playground. So
yeah, sudden dopamine rush.
It could be you had a fantastic slice of cherry pie. I don't know. Whatever the case may be. Anything could cause these things.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that every male who went through puberty, which I'd say is most, remembers that time, especially in the first years, where you'd get a random boner. And that was not because of sexual arousal. That's just because your body's going wild, your hormones are raging, and you could say it's your body's testing its systems, if you at best, and that's usually quite embarrassing. And people like this, and pedophiles, do interpret this as, oh, you're sexually aroused. That means you want to have sex with me. you're probably gay because I touched you in a sensitive area. No, some people get bonus because they're embarrassed, because the blood flow just does things, and it's not because they're sexually aroused. But these people will overinterpret everything. Yeah, said it. I'm starting to repeat myself.
In the closet, not realize this about themselves yet. And people have argued, well, if you want gay characters or bisexual characters or whatever, why not just make new ones? And I say, yes, we should make new gay characters that just come as gay, but also we should have existed.
Yeah, and the characters he just showed are completely rejected because they're shit.
So this is
the redhead from the X-Men was allegedly some trans thing.
No, that's actually a rebooted version of Jean Grey, I think.
Really?
Iceman,
is this the infamous thing?
Yeah.
I think it was the original like died or became like Dark Phoenix permanently, and they brought over this version. I don't know why. Not worth it at all.
Yeah, that's the comic.
Yeah, the comics is.
Thanks, Marvel. Fantastic.
Characters come out as gay because people that you've known your entire life might come out as gay. They might come out as bi. There needs to be a balance to tell the story of LGBT people realistically.
No, there doesn't. You can do whatever you want.
How does this come to? Like, that like we should have like new characters who are like this, and then like it's just like, well, anyway, we need more representation. Like, fuck you.
Not only do we need more characters who are bisexual and hermaphroditic, because that's really a thing in reality, they should be everywhere. Just make gay and bisexual people everywhere.
No.
Established relationships should just like go away entirely. Like they should break up and just like change sexes. Anyway.
The nuclear units.
Fuck everything.
That's why they invented the pansexual bullshit.
Yeah, pansexuals. God.
What are you? Whatever.
Pansexual.
And guys like this need to accept that we as a whole, all this bullshit that they crunch under the rainbow and crunch more things into it that aren't part of it. We are minorities, absolute minorities. And that means that not everything is about us. Not everything must be made into catering to us. We're minorities. We're anomalies. When a story that involves us is somewhere in one of these mainstream things, that will be a rarity. That's okay. And then it hopefully is better, that the writing is taken better care of. Because what I've seen of the Rainbow writers is just horse crap. They are not writing real stories. They're just writing fetish crap. And I've read better stories on fetish sites by free authors with surprisingly little sexual content in them, but just good relationships, just good characters. But I don't see this coming from guys like this.
All right, let's go.
And reflect our stories realistically.
There are characters that I totally think are straight, and if it was revealed that they were just closeted queer folk, then it would be weird. I do not hate straight characters, and I don't want them to go away, because being straight is totally valid. I am just as valid as anybody in the LGBT community. However...
What?
No, you're not.
No, and they're not all valid. There's a lot of fakers in the LGBT community.
How is a heterosexual man valid in the LGBT community? What is that?
No, that's not what he said. That's not what he said. He said heterosexual people are valid, and everyone in the LGBT community is valid. However, I contest that last statement, because not everyone who claims to be gay or bi or transsexual is that. We've seen that over the years all the time. They do it for attention and for, nowadays, even privilege points, because they get nicer treated in their respective places. Not everywhere. I don't think claiming to be trans when you're not, or even when you are, in Qatar is a very wise idea, or Dubai.
Would you say Brianna Wu is the prime example over here?
Good lord.
Of being being privileged for being trans.
Being
And
mentally
it's like,
deranged, maybe.
Yeah, but the same goes for
in a way,
Caitlyn Jenner.
yes. That too. Mm.
She's
The
on.
G
you
in
have the-
LGBT stands for Germany.
Then you have the real abusive types that are definitely just psychopaths posing as trans, like what was it, Jennifer Yaniv? And
Oh
then
my
who was
God.
the other one? Yeah, seriously, that's just a psychopath.
That is terrifying. Yeah.
Well, in the case of Brianna Wu, the irony is that she used her original identity, I think it was Brian, to fake getting harassed, and then ended up actually getting harassed later on, like legit. So it came back to bite her in the ass.
So a boy who cried wolf?
Well, that
Yes.
that and making that completely not Barbie doll video game, which she decrees as not sexist whatsoever, even though it's
That was fucking stupid.
Yeah. Joe Crazy in the chat, you say Christian as well. Yes, I don't think Christian is trans, but Christian isn't a psychopath. Christian is just a very confused retard
yeah, Christian.
who's being
like-
who's being easily manipulated. I think that's what's happening there.
Yeah, you can forgive Christian a little bit more for it because like he's just that. I wouldn't even say absent-minded. It's because of it. Part of it is because of it autism, and another is because he's just that fucking naive.
Yeah,
Which
that's
calls
not
me to this
that's
day.
not high functioning. It's not very high
Yeah.
functioning.
He's still
Is-
working on it.
Yeah, but
this-
that's a person. Christian is a person who should have been institutionalized a long time ago, but not out of malice, but because you don't leave people on this level of intelligence unsupervised.
Yeah, he legitimately needs the help.
all right.
Yeah, so everything that happened now that is so atrocious is a result of leaving this person unsupervised for so long.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's go.
There are characters off as queer-coded and closeted, and in my opinion, and in the opinion of a bunch of avid Tim Drake fans for years, he is one of those closeted characters. Tim Drake is someone that's constantly trying to figure out who he is, and is always rebranding himself with different costumes and personas, like Robin, Red Robin, Drake, and flips back and forth between them.
And different universes, maybe. Therefore, he's
reason
gay. Like what?
Yeah, didn't he have story reasons to do costume flips?
Apparently, but no. That means he's trying to figure out who he is. It's like he's so confused. He has after all this time, he has no idea what he's trying to become.
Yeah, and
Yes,
you claim, Comic Drake, you claim that figuring out who you are has to mean that you're gay. Nothing else.
Well, it has to mean everything. It's not just, what should I have for dinner? It's like, who should I sleep with? What should I cut my hair like? Which shoes should I wear? Like, it's just everything. All these random things. He keeps changing his wardrobe. It's like, oh my God.
I mean, you could just say that's character development.
Yeah, if it was written that way, sure. But he's such a ball of chaos. He's just constantly in flux. You're like, okay.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that he's gay. Or that the conclusion he'll come to is that, he's changing his costume so often, reinventing himself because he's just in denial of being gay.
Yeah,
that's your projection. That's your insanity. That's your fetish.
That he goes undercover means he was taught by Batman to be that skilled at it, to get information. Like, that's what he does. It's like he's good at disguises, maybe?
Yes. Because at the end of the day, they are detectives.
Oh, wow, what a concept. Detectives play dress up. Oh my God.
It's a little thing called espionage,
Yeah.
Drake.
Like with Sherlock Holmes did and most other detectives I've ever read.
Yep.
He's by far the smartest member of the Bat family, but he's also kind of dumb when it comes to figuring out his place in the world. While I don't personally have the experience of being closeted, I do have close friends and family that do. And the way that describes it seems pretty similar to this character that I have read so much about.
I have retarded family members, guys, that told me nothing about their sexuality. And then I read Tim Drake.
Yeah, if your friends are like the guy you just showed us, I'm not surprised they see the gay everywhere.
This is like it came out of nowhere, and he's like, "Well, this is just like my family." I'm like, what?
And you can make the same argument of, oh, this character is constantly reinventing himself, trying to figure out who he is. You can make the same claim for him having gender dysphoria.
I could say the same about his wardrobe right now. He doesn't know what the hell to wear. He's just randomly putting crap on. You're like, okay, yeah, you're gay too, I guess.
It pisses me off that people listen to brainwashers like this asshole.
He doesn't know what pair of socks to put on. Maybe he'll put on 2 different pairs. He must be homosexual. Like, you mean my prime minister? I don't know. It could be.
Now, a few extra thoughts. For people that think that this is doing Stephanie Brown dirty or invalidates their previous relationship, hell no. If you're upset because you like them as
it said that he just broke up with her for no reason. Yes, that is doing it dirty.
Yes.
Why is he not addressing that? Why is he leaving that detail out of this video?
For the same reason that Red left out important information about the Oscar Wilde case.
Yeah, the lens.
Kind of the same reason, like what he did in like the last 2 videos, like the Invincible one and the Static Shock video. He also like reframed the entire video as like, well, he is right.
Was he the one who only watched the first episode of Invincible and judged the whole show from that?
No, he Comic Drake had like the point that like he always liked Invincible, and he's the biggest fan ever, and he didn't understand like why people hate Amber. And apparently there's like racist attitude towards the mother character of Mark, but or whatever. Like he keeps repeating himself. Like this is just the same fucking video again.
Oh, but I think that was that where we came to the conclusion that he judges everything on the first episode.
No. That's a different guy. Was actually the other extreme. Like he was like a really right-wing guy, and he was just like describing everything towards like.
I mean, to be fair,
I think I remember.
To be fair, that in and of itself is incredibly fucking retarded. Well, just basing everything on the first episode. Fuck that.
This is. Again, when we say he's using a lens as a filter, he's blocking out facts that don't agree with his ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, this is when we don't know what the Marxist lens looks like, so we are left out forever.
Yeah, so many lenses.
That's why I equate these people to flat earthers and creationists, because he just ignores or denies every fact that is just right there, or reframes or twists it, rather not reframes it, twists it. Just like flat earthers just deny how physics works and optics work. And John Doe in the chat mentioned me and said he's really desperate to defend what boils down to a lousy publicity stunt. And that's what most of these things are. That's the virtue signaling. It's publicity stunts.
Or a new writer doing something edgy because they always wanted to have Tim Drake be drawn like a 14-year-old boy who's gay.
Yeah, but the edgy, this kind of, in quotation marks, edgy, is all they're doing now. And it never works. Yeah. It's not making them money.
Edgy doesn't even work.
So these publicity stunts aren't working.
Edgy doesn't even work in manga unless it's like a satire. Like if it's for jokes. Like that's how mature manga is these days. And these are just random mangas I've been reading for the past year. And if you see a sort of cringy sort of dude who like holds his hand or sort of like makes this pose, you're like, okay, he's obviously being melodramatic as a joke.
Oh, and in manga, you sometimes even have official fan service books by the original artist that is labeled as non-canonical. But it's just here you have the edgy stuff or the hentai even, but it's not canonical to the story.
Oh yeah.
But these people here, the SJWs in the West, they can't think like that.
Well, maybe if they were given the freedom to make their own What If or Elseworlds, it would at least come across a bit more authentic than just taking the actual Detective Comics or whatever this is written in and making their own shit when they're just rewriting the character and not doing it properly. Like, I don't care if Tim Drake is turned into an alien. I really don't care. I just want it to be done in a way that's believable and go, now it makes sense. Okay, great.
Yeah. And Ken also adds that Drake desperately clings to the idea that all these things are for story reasons and not woke propaganda.
Well, apparently his understanding of writing quality is just forgotten, because I'm okay if you want to be gay. I don't mind that. It's like, do you care how you get there? Like, do you care if Tim Drake just started taking venom and just beefed himself up and he was just crushing his enemies? And you'd be like, hey, wait a second. Venom is deadly. You could kill yourself with that poison. It's like, no, he's fine.
Maybe if Grant Morrison had gotten that far into All-Star Batman and Robin, I guess.
Yeah, like Tim Drake gets pissed off he lost Batman, or some story where he loses some family member and he just wants to kill criminals.
Better than Dick Grayson getting Heihachi Mishima off a cliff in the Batcave. That's literally what it looks like when Batman throws Dick Grayson off the fucking edge. That's Tekken shit.
And Dumb Idiot reminds me of something that is maybe true here as well. He says it was edgy 20 years ago, and maybe more. Because other people have noticed that the SJWs seem to want to be the heroes of the civil rights era, and there's just nothing to really fight for. Yeah. But they act like they're fighting this great big phantom, and they're this huge, amazing movement that saves the world and fights against evil and gets us more liberties and will be remembered as such. But really, they're completely unnecessary people with absolutely no worth. They're not fighting for anything.
It's relevant. Always some invented boogeyman as a result of sexism or males or I don't know.
Yeah, because all the big things were already achieved. All that's left is minutia.
Yeah, just give us
to have million people marches for minutia is just stupid.
All they have to do is tell us what law, what freedom are you fighting for? Just tell us that and show us how you're going to achieve that. Because it should be pretty basic legislature to talk to your representatives and say, hey guys, we want the LGBT whatever crowd to have X. Can you please do that? Because that's all it is.
Yeah. But what they do is they take to the streets for lies they've been told, like this wage gap crap.
That's just economically ridiculous. It's so simple math. You just do it. You look at it. And you go, oh yeah, this is actually benefiting women. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, it's like oh, this thing. If you do the math correctly, it doesn't even exist.
Well, there are some instances,
but it brings 1 million women to DC.
There were some random sectors like car manufacturing, I think in Detroit or something, where women were paying less, but that's just because you have bad managers who don't care about accounting.
Yeah, and the thing is, the in Germany, the left parties, the Green Party, which is also left, they have we have election time again here, so everybody's putting their posters up again with their stupid slogans.
Yeah, same here.
What?
Yeah, we have an election in 4 weeks.
Oh yeah, and the Greens, like the other left parties, they're still running with the slogan, "Same pay for same work."
Oh,
as if that has not been achieved for I don't know, decades. And this is in the law. The thing is, like that thing that you mentioned, that car manufacturer, when you notice that this is not the case in the company you work in, you can take that to court.
Exactly.
Because that's illegal.
It's a very specific example. And once you see that, you're like, wait a second, HR, you can't do this. This lady was working there for like 20, 25 years, and she was making, I don't know, 13, 20% less, whatever the number was. And it's something that's easily rectified. Just go, boom. Oh yeah, that's just hire a lawyer, done. There's no argument to be made.
Yeah.
And it's just a lazy, it's her being lazy, really, because, if
it could be a clerical error.
Well, it's possible, but it's just a manager.
If it's just her?
Well, I don't know the exact number because it was just her reporting it on the news, but if you've been working at a company for X number of years and you don't talk to your coworkers who've also been working at the same company for X number of years, and you're both like alumni or seniors for 15, 20 years, and you don't say how much you get paid to each other, something's going wrong. Like something's up with that. So she either wasn't communicating, didn't care to communicate, never asked what the average was. Because when I'm about to join a company or leave a company, I get told what the average of my sector is or my industry, and my boss or my senior will tell me, well, I'm getting paid this, you're going to that, good for you, you're making more money. So you know what you're going into, so you're not losing on opportunities. So for her to be there going day in, day out and not talking about these things is weird. So half the fault sort of lies on her, because she could have gone to other companies if pay was the issue. And
the moment you notice that is the moment you should talk about that to your superior. Say, what's going on here? This shouldn't be the case. This is illegal. I don't. And usually you start with a friendly attitude, that because, well, I don't want to shit on my company. I don't want to fight my company. I like it here. Yeah. So can we please fix this, because this is illegal? And I wouldn't say no to the money to be paid for the same that everyone else is paid for the same work.
Yeah, once your seniority in any company, that's like usually 28, 30 years around there. Then it's like, okay, now you get your pension, you get all these bonuses and whatever, time off and a lot more. So that's been standard since the 60s, I think, maybe before that.
And I brought that up because these parties, they keep running on slogans about things that have long since been achieved. And when they're in power, they're certainly not doing anything to make anything better, because it's already done. They're not fighting for any workers where that might be not the case. That's not what's going on, because it would be all over the news.
All right.
That would be the one thing they'd exploit immediately.
We are almost at 6 minutes. We have 2 minutes and a half to go. It's been going pretty quickly. Not bad.
Yeah. It's good it's short.
Yeah.
A couple, then I get it, I do too. But Tim and Steph have been on and off again for years. While Marvel loves to have their...
Just this heterosexual relationship. Yeah, it's, just guy, girl, whatever.
Characters hook up left and right, DC loves their OTPs. It's Batman and Catwoman, Superman, Lois Lane, Green Arrow, and Black Canary. Tim and Steph are probably going to get back together sometime down the line, and that's totally fair. Being bisexual does not invalidate attraction to the opposite sex. Also, this is just solid representation for DC in general.
Representation is tokenism, nothing else.
So this is just a thing that Drake has just totally accepted in himself, and there's no exposition, there's no soul searching, there's no, hey, some days I feel like ass and some days I feel like tail, I don't know, why is that? No, nothing. It just, he happens to, we'll just make Tim our whipping boy, we'll just throw him around the room again. Now he's an alien, now he's a female, now he transformed his gender, now he has 2 penises, now he's 3 legs and 4, like, let's just transform his body. That's just,
he's Ben 10 now.
It's and Tim's like, yeah, whatever, stuff happens. It's life. Yeah, you just accept it. You move on.
Yeah, and I cannot understand why any man would be put so much effort into justifying homosexual relationships for no reason other than grifting, clout, or because he's closeted himself. There's no reason other than virtue signaling or that he's repressed gay.
Yeah, if we want to go the route of Tim is really confused, then great. Make him a confused guy who's not sure about himself. He's, as he said, clothing and this and that. You
can write a deep story about that.
Yeah, make him one of those guys who's just unsure of himself in general. He's just a nice guy, just really uncertain about his feelings and what to do in life.
Yeah, and the thing is, with a story like that, you don't even need a scene with another male character where they're affectionate in any way, whether they're happy or whether it's still confusion and uncertainty. You don't even need that. You can write a story about that soul searching, about your sexual orientation, without even that. But these types of comics are only these kinds of scenes, because that's the only way these people with their gay fetish can understand it. It's all physicality for them.
All right, we're at 6:20. We are now at the last 2 minutes. Hopefully this is all one big, I don't know, Squarespace or some sort of advertisement for something.
They love women like Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, Catwoman, Wonder Woman, and Talia al Ghul, and so many more. There's not really that much bisexual representation for men. There's Constantine, and that's about it. I think the reveal of Tim's sexuality was handled a lot better than someone like Iceman over at Marvel Comics, and I hope that it's something that's explored more instead of just a one-off mention
not gay,
for some
he's
brownie
mind
points on
raped.
social media. There's a difference between making a queer character and having a queer character. Tim Drake is a full three-dimensional character, and while...
Explain to me how he's gay then. Or bisexual.
Yeah, that doesn't come out of nowhere. That's something you struggle with for years.
This is a well-established character, and all of a sudden, boom, he's into guys. How did this happen? When did this happen? Why did this happen? That's all you need to do in your stories. You can make it one page. I don't care. Just give us a reason. Make it make sense, and then move on. And don't treat it like a big deal. Because right now, you're blowing it out of proportion if it's no big deal for you. So I don't really care. Then why are you talking about it? Why is Twitter talking about it and excited and, oh my God, some character I never read about is gay or bi. Like, oh, we were being listened to. It's like, yeah, you lunatics, the guys who don't read the comics, cheering for something you never cared about. Representation.
I hope that we do see this side of him in the future. I also hope that it doesn't become his entire identity. I'm not trying to say that a character's sexuality can't be a big part of who they are, but it doesn't have to be the defining trait about them.
But that's really all we get from you guys.
Doesn't have to be a big deal, because it shouldn't be. The world is a diverse place, and the media we consume...
Then why are you making it a big deal?
A guy kissing a guy...
Then why are you making comics that are only that? You're just lying. You're lying about the product. You're lying about what your obsessed friends are doing.
You know what?
Not to mention the hypocrisy of it.
I wish we had an actual bisexual writer or whatever who knows how to write and just write the story properly and just to show them how it's done.
Oh, that's interesting. Usually the SJWs do demand that gay people write gay stories.
Right.
Trans write trans, black write black, bi writes bi.
Not that you need
Why couldn't I find a bisexual writer?
Yeah, not that you need one to do that properly, but just to be, just cover your bases. Okay, fans of bis and this and that. Here's a bisexual writer writing a bisexual character properly. Do it. Fine.
And the thing is, if your comic books are only about this stuff, who's supposed to buy that except the fetishists who are into that?
Yeah, can you imagine?
Who's supposed to be interested in that?
If they actually make Superman or Batman gay or bi, like that would just, it wouldn't work. They're so established.
They're trying to do that.
If they do it, they have to really climb that mountain twice over, because they have to go first over the mountain that he's heterosexual and then over the mountain or back over the mountain that he's gay, because it's just like, okay. It's such a hurdle.
Don't worry. Batman Joker /Fic does exist.
Oh no, that I understand.
And Superman Lex Luthor /Fic does exist.
Oh Jesus!
You only need one of these fetish writers get into a position in DC, because social justice gets into every position, not on merit, but on bullying and being, this seems to be the fashionable stuff because it's all over Twitter.
Yeah, I know.
This must make us millions if we make it. Oh, why are we going bankrupt?
They should just make a not an Elseworld, but just a fanfic / crap channel of their lineup and just get it all out of their system. We know it's shit.
No, don't. Because you know what happens then? Then this same crowd that got that stuff, you think they're pleased now because you gave them the little finger.
Oh no.
They will now demand that this is made canon.
That's their safe space bullshit. It's like you play in that area and leave us the fuck alone, because that's fine. I'm very happy with you doing your thing.
They will not stay in the containment. They will demand that their containment becomes the kingdom.
If they're smart, or the guy who's in charge will say, no, we gave you what you wanted, go away. You sell, and if it sells, they keep it.
People are not smart. They're hiring these people in the first place.
What I'm saying is, if they want to do it their way, and they are losing money, then they could just throw it all out the door and say, we're never doing that ever again. Contain it. Try it out as a business venture. Doesn't work. Toss it. Never happened.
Thankfully, they did do that with New Warriors, but even then, that's a rare case that is. No, in all seriousness, that it is still a rare case where they do the immediate 180.
Yeah. That was so retarded. Like, that was even worse than what we're talking about now. That was so bad.
It's the true face of them.
I know.
Even when they do create new characters, you still gotta watch out for how bad it is.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is, when they make original stuff, it's so bad that the SJWs themselves are disgusted by it, because they see them. It's the mirror. They hold the mirror up to themselves and think, "Oh God, this is disgusting. This can't be us." So they throw the mirror away and go back to gayify and transify all the established stuff, because they can't actually stand what they are.
Yeah, it's between that, and I think there was one moron that tried to make a female superhero whose power was literally the menstrual cycle.
Oh my God!
Oh,
sounds deadly.
That sounds painful.
I remember there was, and I don't know if this is an old character or something that these people made up. There was a fat woman that was, telekinetic? She had psychic powers.
Okay.
And so she was a superhero. And I would say that for a psychic character that's telekinetic and floating through telekinesis and all of that, maybe if you do everything with that power and it somehow doesn't burn calories, maybe I could even accept that being a fat superhero. Because you're never moving your body.
Right.
You're just floating all the
weight
time
of your legs
powers.
is, undeveloped.
So what, MODOK, but with a full body?
Yeah, pretty much.
Go with that.
Or like Harkonnen.
Well, but that's cool. Like,
I know, but Harkonnen is openly evil, so that's okay.
And Shakespearean.
We accept that.
Because they're disgusting and murderous, and clever and brilliant.
Because they're evil.
Yeah. Oh, and Cyber in the chat said they are already trying to make Superman gay because of a male friend in the past.
Please.
Oh yeah, Superman's son is gay. It was confirmed a few days ago.
Oh God, no.
Telling you.
Not John,
there will be no heterosexuals left once these people are done.
Like, Jonathan Kent, like Superman and Lois's son is...
Please, no.
It already happened.
The guy here, Comic Drake, showed us, referenced. He admitted actively looking for justification to make characters gay.
Please let that be...
They admit it. These people admit it.
Please let that be something else that they immediately backpedal on, please.
Everything will be gay. Everything will be trans. And it will be all pointed out for us.
Forever.
All right, well, one more minute. Let's go.
Is no worse or appropriate than a guy kissing a girl. And if that freaks you out, or if your only complaint is the mere existence and or visibility of queer folk, then dude, you're just a homophobe. These people complain about how you shouldn't have established characters, and you should instead make new, diverse...
Wait, I need to hear that again, sorry.
But really, like it's everything has to be turned into something else. This is crazy.
Than a guy kissing a girl. And if that freaks you out, or if your only complaint is the mere existence and or visibility of queer folk, then dude, you're just a homophobe.
So that's not what we're complaining about. And if you want to allege that I'm a homophobe, that would be very weird, Very weird. Like you accuse me of being a transphobe. That's also very strange. Because it doesn't really fit with my life.
Transphobe.
And these people's eyes I am. Because we're at a point where if you mention gender dysphoria, you're a transphobe. Because that excludes people who don't have gender dysphoria but feel like they're trans. Like, fuck off.
I mean, we know it'd be incredibly retarded to call someone like Wisp transphobe. Because for those who don't know, I'll let you guys put 2 and 2 together on that.
Yeah, just watch the first Smudcast I've been on.
Exactly.
All right, here's John Doe, the Average Joe. Thanks for the donation. I want to point out that everyone is talking about Tim Drake being bi, but we know nothing about his date. Same with Jonathan Kent, Superman, attempting to pair him with a generic pink-haired boy. Their dates are as undeveloped as the romance, and that's kind of the problem. It's part of it, but it's not the whole problem, because we're talking about an established character who has established sexuality.
Yeah, and that's how you can spot fetishist writing, because it's unbelievably shallow. The characters are unbelievably shallow. The interactions are unbelievably shallow. It's all just it's like cheap porn. The kind of where the door opens, the plumber comes in, and it's like, oh, why is there hay on the floor? I don't know. Let's have sex. Okay. That's the level of this writing.
I was going to say tokenism, but that's even better. It's
yeah, but that's the level of fetish writing.
It's like farmer plumber genre. Like, okay.
Oh no, it's a famous German porn joke. Like,
hey?
Warum liegt hier Heu rum?
Right.
Because you have sex in the hay, and then you're in the kitchen, and there's suddenly hay on the floor. Well, okay, let's have sex.
Okay. What?
Where did this hay come from?
Yeah, where does hay come? Oh, why is there hay on the floor? I don't know.
Where were you? Where were you two?
Suddenly sex.
Lots of plumbing in the farm, I guess. I don't know.
It's just ham-fisted joke writing.
Anyway, Lenny Lenny the Shark, and when everyone's gay, no one will be. I think you're trying to say. Anyway, we have less than a minute. Let's get this over with.
People complain about how you shouldn't touch established characters and you should instead make new diverse ones.
Yes.
But whenever a new diverse character is made, these same people then complain about them endlessly.
No, we don't.
No, we don't. We make fun of it because they're usually absolutely hilarious.
Absolutely.
Like the New Warriors.
Absolutely hilarious garbage.
Like Starfire. Like, I'm not Starfire. Mandy. It's just laughable.
I'm glad.
And the thing is, you do not make those very often. You do not attempt those. You do not try that very often, because nobody buys this stuff. Just like your what was it called, America Chavez? Nobody bought that.
Well, the problem I would see, not only with the actual creation and writing of that story, was the depiction of Starfire. She was almost as if she wasn't her mom. Like, she was just there in the room. She was never doing very motherly things. She says, well, I'm concerned about your future. I have given you all the brochures to all the colleges. It's like, okay.
Starfire makes no sense, and she's drawn like a drug-addicted whore.
I don't get what they were going with. That story where the daughter is so, I don't know, alone, or does everything herself and just wants to go to Paris for some reason. It's just like, that's it? That's all she is? She hates her life?
It's like, dude, Mandy is a self-insert character that
obviously
screams borderline disorder by an author. It's a complete reflection of the author. And this is how these people think. That comic is a complete reflection of how borderliners think the world works and how they are correct in everything.
I think it's
all the other characters in the book only serve to justify everything that this stupid girl thinks.
Yeah, it's almost
she's never really put to the test. She's never having any real argument, because in the head of the writer, her character is correct. Therefore, nobody can even have a proper argument against her.
Yeah, it's almost the inverse of what we see when a character takes that and treats them as a Mary Sue, because this character doesn't really have any special uniqueness about her until she does. She's always alienated, but she always has a friend or two. Like it's sort of like, okay, well, let's just do the same thing a Mary Sue would be without the Mary Sue-ness until we throw it in there.
Yeah, there are a lot of Mary Sue elements, but it's tainted by the self-hatred of the borderliner. I guess there's the power fantasy on the one side, where this develops into, and then there's all the self-deprecation, all the self-hatred, the self-mutilation of the borderline.
Take Damian Wayne. You could write the same stupid story with Damian Wayne, exactly the same setup. Batman's never there, or Bruce is never there to treat him as his son. It's like, why wouldn't he be nice to his son?
You know what? That does work better, because to some extent they did do that. He wanted nothing to do with Damian.
Right.
Initially.
But there's a story behind that, why Batman feels that way, and then he realizes
there is.
He's his son. He has to be a better father.
Yeah.
Especially since it is the result of Damian's connection to the League of Assassins, which is its own thing in Batman lore.
Which was also a great story with Superman when Young Titans talking about Connor, and Superman wanted nothing to do with Connor, and Batman's like, you're 100% wrong. You gotta be there for him. He doesn't know. He's scared. He doesn't know his place in the world. You're the only connection he's got. And
Batman said that, for the record.
And in regards to self-insert characters, that story with was it Superman's son with the pink-haired boy? Somebody mentioned that, who was in a relationship with a generic pink-haired boy.
Jonathan Kent.
I don't remember who said it.
That's Jonathan Kent.
The son is the pink-haired boy.
No, the son has a relationship with a pink-haired boy.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
You got it.
With issues like that, check the writers and the artists of that comic. It is likely that is also a self-insert character by one of them. That you will find pictures of them where one of these the makers of the comic does look like that. Because you have the same dynamic with, I want to have sex with the fictional character. Therefore, and since I'm the same sex, I have to make it into a gay story, and then I'm inserting myself as the other. That happens too.
Okay, here is Tyler Preston for the donation. I unironically have read porn comics that's better written with LGBT characters than anything Marvel or DC is currently writing. Take, for example, Sunstone by Stjepan Sejic. Okay. It's kind of funny. The authors and artists of adult comics, whether they're from Japan or otherwise, actually care. And they draw and write things that they want to read and create. So
the Japanese can write relationships. And relationship problems.
The Dojin are actually pretty decent, because if they're based off good characters, they I love that character. I'm going to play with that.
Yeah, and they can write young adult relationships problems really good.
Especially the comedy. If they understand the comedy, that's amazing.
Yeah. Whoever super chatted that sent me a note on Discord to remind me of that stuff. Maybe I'll look into it, because I do like to find good counter examples to the crap the SJWs make. Maybe sometimes I put it together and make a project of, hey, this is how you do it right. This is how SJWs do it, who claim to make it right, compared to the people who previously did it on TV and media that they claim made it wrong.
Is that my porn is better than your porn? Is that what you're trying to do?
Yes.
Okay.
Such enthusiasm saying it too. Yes.
40 seconds. We're almost done.
There was no pleasing these guys. And frankly,
Oh God, look in the mirror.
Dude,
not worth listening to.
Look in the mirror, you fucking
On that
bitch.
note, and what he just said, I've read on these fetish sites, I've read Mary Sue type stories that were good. You can write Mary Sue type stories that are fun to read. And that goes into, in a way, that goes into the isekai story
Oh god.
idea. Because lots of that is kind of Mary Sue, where the main character is that can be absolute horrible and cringe and boring to watch, and it can be absolutely amazing. And that stuff, you can write a Mary Sue story that's fun to read. That is possible. These people can't. Because they don't know what they're doing.
All
Tim
right.
Drake, this is just a moment that a lot of us have been expecting and waiting for years.
No,
I
you
do
haven't
not care if
expected
bothers
that.
you.
Waiting for.
So yeah, I'm excited for all the usual hate bombing and people to make their hour-long responses to this like
Hi.
10-minute
You
video.
jackass.
But I wanted to just get my 2 cents out there because people keep acting like this came out of left field.
It
It
did.
didn't. Big thank you
No,
to
it did.
Movie Movies
It
and
did.
Wrestle with Gaming for reading those lines earlier. Be
You've
sure to
not
check
been
out the channels
expecting
because
that.
it is some
Nobody's been
seriously good
expecting
stuff.
that.
And if you want to listen to more
Just
of
your
my
idiotic
SJW
friend
nonsense,
has been
then
digging
I have
for
a dedicated
that.
playlist with all of my woke garbage. So maybe consider giving that a watch. But anyway, I hope you learned at least a little something new. And hopefully...
Your woke garbage
I'll
is
see you next
socialism, and socialism is fascism. Shut up.
All right. That was our monthly supply of Mr. Drake.
Ugh. Already? A month?
Well, I don't know.
Wasn't this like 2 weeks ago?
I don't keep track, honestly.
I just realized he's called Comic Drake, and we're talking about Tim Drake.
Oh my
Oh
God.
no! Oh no!
The connections.
All right. Stream memes time. Here's Wisp again. Why would a fly land on something like this? Rats should be ashamed for falling in this trap. Bears? This is ridiculous. How Tolkien is holding medieval fantasy back. How intriguing.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that meme earlier today. I laughed so hard. I love this. This is amazing. I
Okay.
love this. This is awesome.
Joe Crazy, the ambiguously gay duo. Yeah.
Oh god, no.
Oh dear.
Sexuality reveal. Established
I'm
character.
bringing this one back.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Shippers, basic human interaction. Is this a secret relationship?
Yeah.
Clearly. Big bisexual energy. Yeah,
Yeah, I think he's gay. I think he's just gay.
he is a closet gay man in YouTube green screens. He could turn his green screen
I
into
think
anything.
he's like comic sexual.
Comic-
Is that a thing?
Is it
It should be a thing.
He's a commie-sexual.
Commie?
Oh god.
Oof.
1M.
So everyone who looks and acts like him in real life that I know is gay.
They are.
When seeing two males just being bros and nothing romantic about it, that's impossible.
That's not true.
That's not true.
That's impossible. No.
Spiritual feelings, you know it to be true.
Oh god, what's this? Wish I could do the same. Still refuse to call him by your name. I don't care what costume you or him wears. As far as I'm concerned, you're my Robin. Always will be. And then we have this comic Drake in the background. I knew it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that which Robin is that he's talking to though?
I
Damien
guess
or
that's wait. You're right. That does look like Damien in the background.
in the background, or the one or the guy's back, or the guy's back to back to, which is Tim.
Yeah.
I think it is Tim he's
Yeah.
talking to.
Well, I do remember when the whole thing about Superboy dying, and Tim was trying to clone him, and he was holding his shirt when he was sleeping and crying at going to bed and stuff. Like he was obviously had a strong attachment to him.
Well, that's just how close the friendship was between the two.
Right. And when he was in the cloning room, he put his clothing in the vat, and he was like all prepared to give him his old stuff back and all this stuff like that. All mementos. of trying to figure out how to clone him again.
Yeah, it's like the thing is there was that, that friendship and that mutual respect. It was that strong, and that's what people like Drake just love spinning into something else completely different.
All right, here we have, what are you doing, step bro? Oh God.
Oh no.
How did we get from Nightwing and this shit? Okay.
Nightwing and Tim.
Oh, that's Lazarus Pit?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That should be.
Makes more sense.
Actually, no. If it's the Lazarus Pit, it's probably Jason.
Oh, yeah? I thought it was Batman. All right. It's like people...
So when does Batman wear red, though?
No. Not that's not hugging Batman. No, I think they threw him in and they're just waiting and they're crying. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. It's like people who have tinfoil hats that talk about seeing reptile aliens everywhere. Yeah, that's stupid.
Yes.
Giant Tyrannosaurus. Okay.
Meanwhile, Damon's is totally gay. He has Cassandra Cain and Stephanie Brown in his pants.
Oh yeah.
That's a big bulge.
Oh my God. It's like they're kinky or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's totally
Tim Drake did have a close, like, at least friendship, like camaraderie with both of them.
Right, but clearly,
especially Stephanie.
All this sexual energy can be translated to male targets.
Oh sure, yeah. Oh yeah, totally, yeah.
That's how that works. Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. Megaphone. Excuse me, Mr. Drake. I wish that in this picture he had like a projector on his forehead or something, or blinding him, maybe in front of his face.
Meanwhile, concede the character is not queer or draw 25 cards.
Yeah.
Who does she?
Great stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Homosexuals, bisexuals, pansexuals everywhere. Oh dear Lord.
I feel excluded.
Oh, that deserves a second panel of what he's saying. It's called gender dysphoria, Buzz.
Yeah. Wisp is like, no.
Yeah, someone make a part 2 to Damon's about that.
Oh my God, Batman has worn different costumes over the years. Batman confirmed queer.
Sure.
It's clearly,
obviously.
That's clearly what's happening in Batman.
I mean, on a side note, I do like how much the Rebirth costume resembles Arkham, at least in the basic aesthetic.
Yeah.
Especially the bat symbol. The wings on that one is clearly Arkham inspired.
2 fictional characters exist. Shippers. They better start having babies.
Yeah.
Even though it's genetically impossible.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, shippers ship everything. They ship heterosexual, they ship gay, that doesn't matter. But the Dharma is right.
Ask for fashion advice, have a fashion sense. Either way, they'll call you queer.
Pretty much.
Yay. In an ideal world, writers and oh my God, shippers are being
writers
water
versus
hosed.
shippers. Yeah.
Is that the new German ones?
Meanwhile, I'm going off the cuff, so I'm bringing back the only one I've made so far.
The superior German water hoses. Yes.
Oh man, you want to check out the Huawei 2000 or 20,000? It means Wasserwerfer. It's water thrower. That's like driving tanks, and they can at will add not poison. Well, kind of it is tear gas into the water stream. The water streams are strong enough to shoot people's eyes out and break bones. It's totally non-lethal. It's just crowd control.
Yeah, we'll just add a little bit of jalapeno in there. That'll make it safe.
Yeah, seriously. They just need to push a button and it gets added, and then the fun begins.
Oh my God.
The real fun begins.
Fun in quotes.
And these things are built like tanks.
True.
You can't. It's impossible to get scratch in with civilian means.
0 days without nonsense. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I was going off the cuff. I decided to just bring back the only one I've actually posted, but it still works.
Yeah. Here we go. Chart title: the amount of Fs I give about modern Marvel DC. How much I care about manga. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I read. Honestly, I don't touch American comics. I haven't done so in years. So.
You're better off. And and not even the movies are safe from that shit anymore.
Yeah, that's another story. Woke-oids with literally anything they don't like. I diagnose you with bigoted. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Which, on a quick side note, it's like I'm happy Shang-Chi bombed because of that shit.
Oh, really? It bombed? Oh, geez.
Did it already come out?
Yeah, I believe so. I think it just came out.
Wow.
It's like that on its own should prove that the pandering is not going to work for them in the long run.
Oh, man.
And our last one, we got, what is going on here? Twitter and Facebook, everyone's happy. And we see...
Oh, that's SJWs being happy at child, maybe gay relationships in Western cartoons.
Oh, okay. And then we have Twitter, Facebook, NPCs going nuts because... Oh.
Dragon Maid.
Dragon Maid is... Kana's kissing the girl who loves Kana, and the other attractive lady is also kissing her. I don't know that episode.
That's because that's the one is super progressive awesome, and the other is pedophilia.
Yeah.
It's pedophilia when the Japanese do it.
Magic dragon, large-chested girls are bad for some reason. Oh, there's more! Alex Halo? Who thought that would happen?
But where's the fate?
Is it? No, this isn't Fate. This is something else. What on earth are these adult-only doujinshi? They're so indecent. I must have them. These are the girls you wish you grew up with, but you know. Stepsister explaining how she's stuck. Stepbrother.
Thank you, Alex.
And you just see this giant silhouette of hopefully the top of her head. Because it's a girl.
That's the yeah. That's her hair.
Yeah.
That's her hairdo. Yes.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
That's it. We're done. We're good. All right. Fantastic.
Good. It was short.
Yeah. I tried 2 other videos and they were just not good. So even though they were voted on, but guys, you know, sometimes we get a strikeout and we got to try again. So 2 out of 3 is not bad. Anyway, thanks, guys. Fun times. Not too. I mean, it's Comic Drake. He's pretty weak sauce. Nothing to get excited over. Pretty blinded by bias. Pretty inconsequential, and easy to take apart. But thanks, guys, for tuning in. That was fun. Got lots of time left over to chill out and have a drink, and I'm already chilled out. I don't need another drink, but maybe some water or some lemon lime stuff. Maybe just to enjoy the weather.
Sad thing, his viewers are not seeing through that crap.
Well, you know, people are dumb. You can't blame them for being ignorant, but that's just how it goes. You can't win them all. But a lot of these people don't even care, so they'll never know about this stuff anyway. Oh, I did while I was watching this stuff with you guys. 2 bits of news popped up on my phone. The first one was the guy who was on the Nirvana cover, you know, the baby. He grew up, and now he's suing Nirvana for sexual exploitation.
Oh, I've read that too. That's so
really.
I didn't read it. I just found out. I was like, wow.
Shouldn't he sue his parents?
I don't know. And apparently, he was doing that same pose while he was growing up, and they have photographs of him doing that. So,
well, that proves that he is just grifting it. He's just exploiting it now.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I love it.
And what's the other thing?
The other one is Vampire the Masquerade Part 2 is coming out on early access on Steam this September 7th. So
the dark sequel?
I don't know.
They secretly continue developing it?
Well, it was supposed to come out last year, but then they...
I mean, September 7th.
Seriously. Well, the funny thing is...
They did also talk about Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlust at Gamescom today.
Bloodlust, really?
Bloodlust, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I do know that the game that I'm excited for is coming out in 8 days, which is Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. And I'm a big Pathfinder fan, so I've been waiting for that for years. So it's finally coming out, and all this. They're using ray tracing. They're doing all kinds of great things with the RPG mechanics, as they always have, and all kinds of great characters, NPCs, just fantastic world building, and the bestiary looks great. So I'm going to be having a great time all next month.
I will try to make an attempt to actually remember to buy the original Bloodlines if it's whenever it gets on sale again.
It should be on GOG for like $10 or whatever. What did Sidar? Did you pick it up?
Well, I mean, use Steam.
Oh, on Steam, I don't know. I don't think it's on Steam anymore. They discontinued it.
The original Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. I have it on my wish list.
Oh no, but they took it off Steam, I thought.
Oh, what the fuck, really?
Yeah, that was the big deal. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. I have
Why'd they put it
my phone here, right here. I have my phone right here. I'll check.
All right.
I mean, I'd say buy it on GOG anyway, because you need to patch it yourself with community patches and all, and that's a bit fiddly with Steam sometimes.
You can load it through Steam.
It's one of those games.
Yeah. So, but you can buy it through GOG and load it through Steam. It's cool. But anyway, thank you so much. Keep the suggestions coming. Keep in mind what's happening Friday. So tomorrow will be our last day for suggestions because Maggie Mayfish is coming Friday. So
oh no.
We'll see you then. Have yourself a great evening. Bye-bye now.